Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and I've made a new pick a card read for you. This is a full Celtic Cross tarot spread. It is a full one this time because one of you pointed out to me this is not a full tarot spread because you don't reveal the outcome cards. So this time I'm revealing the first outcome card, and then the other 5 or 6 that come out will be in the deeper dive. So I've made 3 readings here. Timeless reading, whenever you get into it, is good. Crystal, flower, and shell. Each one of them has got a deeper dive, that extended reading that goes with it. Now this time around, I know some of you, all of you in fact, had a problem with the last deeper dive from the full tarot Celtic Cross spread. There was some technical issue with it. I've got it sorted out now, and hopefully I have sent all the emails out to everyone that purchased that with the right one in for you all now. Just make sure you've got that. Email me if you don't have it, but I know what the problem was now, and I've fixed that. And so the deeper dive will be available for all of these, the right one this time. And so if you're interested in that, toward the end of these readings, I'll be popping a link for that up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below, and that's where you can also find your timestamps to fast forward to your reading. So all you need to do now is take your pick. Which one would you like? Would you like the crystal, this rose quartz? Out with the Empress, the Divine Feminine, the Queen of all Queens, the one that's done a lot of work on herself, the one that is ready for that amazing relationship that she deserves and she knows she deserves. Or would you like the flower? The flower is out with the 6 of emotions, so someone showing up from the past, or hooked on from someone from the past, or should you get back together with someone from the past? Or the shell. The shell is out with the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is about being left out in the cold. Perhaps someone ghosting you, they're not talking to you at the moment, you don't know what's going on, that kind of thing. So take your pick now. Don't forget to click like on this video as you're watching, leave a comment, click on the subscribe button with that notification bell before you click off as well. I do a daily energy update for the collective every single day of the year. I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads for donations. Would love to see you in there. Find the next show laying in wait on my YouTube channel by clicking Be Healing down there. I do 3 love picker card reads like this a week as well. Let me know what you want them to be about in the description box below. And I give private readings as well. You can find them on my website, BeHealing.com. I'll pop a link for it up there. And there's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below as well. No, not in the comments below, just in the description box below. Well, enjoy your reading. I'll see you in there. So if you chose the crystal along with the Light Seers Tarot, then this one's for you. Let's give you a full Celtic Cross tarot spread here for your love life. See what's going on. Now, as usual, crystals, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That is an extended reading that goes with it. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. What's this reading all about? Good start with the Empress card. Now, the Empress. The Empress is the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine meaning a feminine, probably woman, who has developed herself in such a way that she has developed all the aspects about herself that are the queen energy. So we've got the Queen of Cups. She's like the Queen of all Queens. She's mastered each aspect of the Queens. So the Queen of Cups is about being open and receptive and feminine and receiving. So if you've been learning about receiving, how to receive, how to ask for things, how to let people compliment you, let that stuff in, how to get people to support you for what it is that you want, you know, dealing with the things that stop us from doing that, you know, like when we start pushing things away from us. So dealing with the things that are inside of ourselves, or worthiness issues perhaps that stop us from receiving things. So that's the Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords, what about boundaries? Queen of Swords is quite hard, you know, standing up and fighting for herself, being good in confrontation, having boundaries, clear boundaries, knowing how to express those things. So it's, if you've been learning all about that. Queen of Wands, she is the go-getter. She's the one that's like motivated, determined to get things. She's the one that takes action for herself in her life. So she's got a good career, and she's, you know, the home and all of that kind of thing. She's the action taker. She gets what it is that she wants, right? So if you've been developing that side of yourself, how to fire yourself up, how to have goals, how to achieve those goals with your particular personality type, you know, because we're all a little bit different in that kind of way. I'm kind of naturally motivated kind of a person. I I'm kind of type A personality, so that comes pretty easily to me. Sometimes a little bit too much easily. I've got to kind of down regulate myself in that kind of way, hold myself back. It's more of a challenge for me to say no, to be lazy, and all of those kind of things. So, but what that is also my Queen of Wands. My challenges kind of thing, my part of mastery to the Queen of Wands too. So whichever way it is, you've mastering that side of yourself, and which is the Queen of Pentacles is the other one. Now, the Queen of Pentacles builds things for herself. The house, the stuff that you've got, the material stuff that you've got, being on top of that, and so it's like savings and all those kind of things, mastering the material side of life. And so if you've mastered all those things, you become the Empress. The Empress really knows who she is. She can tap into aspects of all of these different queens, all these things that she's learned at any given moment. And so she holds herself in such high regard, and her life is kind of sorted, right? And so as a result, she's very particular in who and what she'll let in her life. She's got strong boundaries and all of that kind of thing, and she goes for what it is that she wants. So she's not going to be easily distracted by any kind of fluff that comes along, because she's determined. She's got all of those things, but she is open and receptive to new energies. So it's a really great energy, the Empress. I love it. I'm all about the Empress energy. Getting ourselves there to be that divine feminine, and then getting ourselves into a relationship with a divine masculine, learning those relationship skills, which is part of the Queen of Cups as well. Relationship skills to be able to get into those relationships. So there you are, sitting pretty as the Empress. The divine feminine, the one that has done all that work on herself, and the one that is ready for a divine relationship. I love it. What's holding you back then? What is hindering you in this? What's hindering you in this? Healing, Four of Swords, relaxation and all of that kind of thing, and the Page of Wands. Okay. So getting a little bit overexcited, are you? When someone gets in touch, or when there's a hint of something romantic shows up, or something passionate shows up, getting a bit too excited. And then needing to rest. It's a kind of a roller coaster energy that I'm picking up from this. So you might get a little bit too excited when somebody new comes into your life. I'm just going to let the cat in. When someone new comes into your life, getting a little bit overexcited about that, like, yay, someone's come in. And then perhaps getting into the fantasy. Getting hooked on a fantasy about them, getting overexcited kind of thing, and then having a crash after that. So you might just be roller coastering whenever someone catches your eye, getting a bit overexcited about it. So you could have been doing a lot of work on yourself as the Empress, right? And then it might have appeared in your life that there's not a lot going on, emotionally wise, relationship kind of wise in your life, and you feel ready for that. You feel accomplished in the rest of your life. Work going well, all your queen stuff is going great, and so now it's time for a relationship. It's like, now it's time to work on the Queen of Cups side of myself and bring a relationship into my life so that I can balance that out. But this is saying that what's working against you is the roller coaster that you're on. When it appears like somebody new is coming into your life, you're getting so excited about it. And then there's a crash after that when perhaps it doesn't go and lead anywhere, or you find out that they're not really for you, or whatever it is. Then there's a crash, and you need to recuperate from that excitement that you're at. So you're on a bit of a roller coaster. It feels like there's just a little bit more of work to do to balance yourself out when it comes to new people coming into your life and the whole excitement factor. So how do things appear on the surface of it at the moment of your love life? What's going on at the moment on the surface of your love life? How do things appear for crystals right now in their love life? How do things appear for crystals right now in love life? The Seven of Wands, like you're being guarded, like you are kind of protecting yourself, so pushing people away. It might appear that you're pushing people away at the moment. What's really going on? What's really going on? I'm sure you're not meaning to push people away, but the Empress will, you know, because the Empress, everyone wants to be with the Empress. But they're all going to have a go at the Empress kind of thing. But you, as the Empress, you have to say no to many, because they all want to be with the Empress. But they're not all the Emperor, right? In fact, there's hardly any Emperors. So it could appear that you are Seven of Wands being too no kind of thing, too protective of yourself, shutting everyone out. What's really behind that, though, is direct communication, Knight of Swords, going for it when it makes you happy. You're just ready. You're like at the start line. I'm not going to say yes to anyone until they directly communicate with him, take the action towards me, they pursue me, and they make me really happy. So yeah, you've got some conditions here. It appears like you're pushing everyone away, you're being too protective of yourself. Or what's really happening is you're waiting for that direct communication to come in from someone that pursues you, someone that makes you happy. So this is you are someone that knows exactly what it is that you want. Let the cat out now too. She just needed a snack. Chicken. Oh, yes. Okay, so recent past energies. Recent past energies for crystals. What's been going on in the recent past? Sounds like my story, this. Recent past. Recent past. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so a seed was planted with someone that could have been really big. So it could have grown to something really big. So this seed that's planted, it could just been meeting somebody who seemed to be very much in alignment with you, or it could have been long-term kind of thing, was looking that way. Perhaps somebody that was very compatible with you, or you seem to be on the same page and like the same things, that kind of thing. So something looking very promising. That seed was planted. What's coming in the near future? So a seed was planted in the past with potential. Two of Wands, you've got a decision to make in the future. So what action will you take? Near future, decision to make. What are you going to do? This or that. We'll get deeper into that as this reading goes on, what that decision is going to be, especially in the deeper dive read, that extended reading. So this reading is about the Empress. What else is it about? Don't we want the Emperor to come out now? No, the Five of Wands. Competition. Okay. Competition. This is about competition. There's an element here that you might be trying too hard as well. I was just getting from that. So feeling competitive, feeling like you need to compete for the one emperor that there is, or something like that, or there's only a couple of good ones, too much competition from that around for those particular people. So you're feeling like there you are sat in the Empress energy, but there's not the opportunities around you, the few and far between kind of thing, and when they do happen, there's too much competition there, too much available, for too many options for the masculines in this situation. What are your fears? Fearing having your heart broken. Wow, yes. Fearing having your heart broken. And so competition. So there could be someone that's caught your eye, but they're like Empress status, and you're thinking that if you compete for them, you might not get them and break your own heart, kind of thing, for going. Now the Empress doesn't pursue, and so perhaps you've kind of got your eye on someone. That seed was planted, but there you are waiting, kind of. She's got a back turn to that seed planted, thinking, well, if they are, you know, eyeing up the competition and all of that, then they're not the right one for me. So are there fears? What are your fears? Being broken-hearted. I think it's playing something cool. Fears about justice. fears about justice. Recriminations, I just heard. Recriminations. Now, there's something about karma here. You're fearing that you've got negative karma accrued from previous mistakes that you've made in relationships. Now, we do get the consequences of our actions so that we can learn, but if you have learned from past things, you don't accrue karma. Like, you don't have to have something bad happen to you just because you made a mistake. That's not what happens. Karma's not like that. It's not vindictive like that, you know. You put someone through that, well, it needs to happen to you. It's only like that while we're learning. And so if you are learning your lessons along the way, there's not going to be negative karma that comes out. So you might fear that you're going to be on the receiving end of some like negative karma. What are your hopes? Hopes for the Knight of Cups. Hopes that they make a move towards you, a romantic gesture towards you. Hoping that they're coming to pursue you and romance you and all of those kind of things. So it feels to me like you've got the energy of like holding back as the Empress, like, I would like this one, a seed has been planted, but they need to make an effort toward me, to come towards me, directly communicate with me. They could make me happy, but they're not making me happy right now. If they need to make that effort kind of thing, I'm not going to pursue them. Your hopes. Any more hopes? Yes, Queen of Cups. You're hoping to receive. Now, you know how I was saying about the Queen? I was getting a Queen of Cups. Strong energy in this. The Empress, you've developed all of those things. Part of the Queen of Cups energy is about the receiving and all of that kind of thing. But it's also about femininity and being open to releasing control, being open to a masculine that will take control, that's got your best interests at heart, and being able to surrender to that person, right? And this is a tricky one because we want to do that, but we can't develop it by surrendering to the wrong kind of people. So a player comes into our life and we surrender to them. That's bad news. We don't want to do that, right? So there's very little practice to be had in this. But you're hoping to do that. You're hoping to surrender, to have one come forward that you can surrender to have one come forward that will take the initiative so that you don't have to. The one to come forward that will take the lead, you know, and responsibility for things so that you don't have to anymore. So it's probably, there's layers upon layers of the Empress, right? We master the Queens to a certain level. And then once relationship comes along, there's a whole new mastery, especially of the Queen of Cups. Because as I said before, the Queen of Cups is also about relationship skills too. You're also hoping for the decision not to be yours, for the decision to be theirs kind of thing. You're hoping for someone that has got it within them to step forward so that the decision is out of your hands. Someone to take control. Yeah, so that you can receive and come forward with romance and all of that. So let's get your outcome cards out. I will reveal these outcome cards in the deeper dive reading, that extended reading. I'm going to get like a progression of these out as well. So we've got like a multi-layered outcome that tells a story. So it's kind of a reading in itself. I will also be getting cards out from these love decks back here for guidance for you and all of that, more information. There's one card. 2. I'll be getting message cards out from your person as well, or people, if there's multiple people in this reading. And if there's anybody new showing up, I'm going to be getting other cards out as to their personality or stuff about that. It just depends what comes up in the reading. There's 3. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, 4. That's a good one. 5. You got 7 cards for your outcome here. I think it's that way around. Okay, last 2 cards might be switched. We've got to be aware of that in that deeper dive. So we've got 7 outcome cards here. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So I'm going to reveal the first one to you in this reading. That's the first, and it is the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is about reminiscing in the past, looking back in the past. So you're going to be doing some introversion first of all into all of this, and there seems to be something about some perhaps previous relationships that you went through, some healing to do. You need to look back at what you did then, what you do differently now, ready for this progression forward. So that's the start, the first card of that. So if it sounds like it is your story, it could be a story, or want it to be a story, you might want to get the deeper dive for even more on this. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now, the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the crystal on a device that you can open PDFs with. And in that PDF, you will see, I forgot what I was saying. In that PDF, you'll see, amongst other things, a picture of a video. When you click on that, if it doesn't take you straight away to a video, then try it on a different device, and it will. Now, if you purchased my previous, the last number 60 of the tarot readings, the incorrect deeper dive was sent out to everyone. I have righted that. I've sent out the correct one to everybody now. So just check in those places. If you did order that and you haven't received it from me yet, do check in your junk, your promotions, and all of those places, all those folders, because I have sent those out manually. Sorry for that. There was technical difficulties going on with it, and it was so confusing to try and fix it, but it's fixed now. And so, yes. And sorry about that if you're one of those people that got that. So, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off. Click on that subscribe button with that notification bell to hear more from me. And if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, then I will see you in there very shortly. So if you chose the flower along with the Muse Tarot, then this one's for you, flowers. Let's give you a full Celtic Cross Tarot spread here. Find out what's going on in your love life at the moment. Now, as usual, flowers is going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with it. If you find that it is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So, what is this reading all about? Let's find out. What's it all about? It's all about the past, the Six of Emotions. It's about looking in the past at, or someone from the past perhaps. Someone that from your past, yeah. It's all about someone from your past. Could be showing up in your life again at the moment, taking you back. Maybe you're thinking that you could resume things, start things up again, and where you're both at now. Perhaps you've both learned as you've gone through life since you were last together, or since you were last in each other's lives. Maybe reminiscing on someone, thinking maybe I should get back together with them, because we've both changed now, matured now, learned our life lessons. Perhaps it's viable now as a relationship. So a definite focus on the past, and a definite, I'm getting that like a, could it be? Is this what I should be doing? Perhaps while you're watching readings, you're deliberating on it at the moment, like, would it be the same again, or would it be different this time? So you're kind of considering, it feels like you're pondering on someone from the past and whether it actually is worth going there again or giving them a chance. What's hindering you in this? What's hindering you? What's crossing you? Whoop. Tone of voice. Oh, but it was such a painful ending. Yeah. Okay, so you're thinking like, well, maybe it'll work, and then you get the reminder of like when it ended and how painful that was, and it's like, ouch, I don't want that pain again. So it was a real bad ending. I don't know if it never got off the ground and it was hard for you to deal with that, or whether you had a relationship and there was a really painful ending behind it. But that is hard. It's a hard thing to get past, right? Because if we're talking about someone from the past, there will be something, some reason that it ended, all that pain that's involved in that. So are you, by considering opening back up to this person, are you just kind of opening yourself up to that same pain again, to go through it again, you know? I saw a meme this morning. It said something like, I don't know, I wonder if it's still up. because it was really funny. I don't look at Facebook very much. Here you go. Yeah, here it is. It says the universe shows me how people really are, and I'd be like, no, they're not. And the universe be like, okay, let me show you again, dummy. That, you know, and you might be feeling like that. Like, am I just like inviting a rerun of the same pain that I had last time? So you're kind of half and half, aren't you? You don't want that same pain. Are you asking for that again? Or is it really true that you've both grown and this could be quite different if you started up again? Let's find out. Let's get deeper into it. How do things appear on the face of it? So how's it looking on the surface? 8 of emotions, like walking away. 4 of emotions, regret and world, like it could start again. So regret's about walking away and about leaving. And that means that it could start up again. So it appears that someone's got regrets for it ending. That's how it looks on the surface anyway. And the world card meaning like a new chapter can start, like in a new kind of a way, you know, like a fresh start kind of thing. We could have a fresh start because we're different now is what it feels like. So there's regrets of walking away. Someone's showing signs of having regrets for ending it. And what's really behind that though? What is really behind that? Because that's just how it appears on the surface of things. What's really behind that? 6 of inspiration. Someone wants to be seen to be winning. Tell us more about that. So the 6 of inspiration, it's usually like when they're coming back, you know, back through town after the victory, they've won the fight and they're coming with like spoils of the war and all of that kind of thing. And then there's everyone is giving them a standing ovation as they're coming back in. Like, yeah. So you're not just winning, but you've been seen to be winning as well. Tell us more about this 6 of inspiration. What's all of that about? Be seen to be winning. Weighing up options is behind it too. Okay. There's an element of ego in this for somebody. I don't know if it's for you or for them or perhaps for both of you. But there's an element of it's a bit embarrassing to break up with someone. You feel a bit like a failure. And part of the drive of sorting it out with this person is kind of to be seen, to be able to do it. But weighing up options, not really sure of whether it's like a pure intent or something like that. Not sure whether it's worth it. That energy is all over this reading. Like you're not sure whether to give them another go or not, someone from the past. It's really weighing up. And there's only so much we can do that, isn't it? You know, weighing up the pros and the cons of it all. And it's like we can't predict what's going to happen, really. Okay, recent past. So what's a recent past energy? 4 of materials. They loved you, but you held your energy back from them. So it feels to me like you push them away for some kind of a reason. So you could be the one that walked away then and having regrets walking away or pushing them away. You held your energy back from that King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups, they can be very emotional. It could have a lot of emotions about you, a lot of love for you. But the King of Cups can be the one that's not very good at communicating those emotions, so didn't actually tell you about it, wouldn't be upfront about it, wouldn't admit to it. They tend not to be very good with the communication, but a very emotional kind of thing. You can tell that the emotions are running under the surface, and that could be why you pulled your energy away from them. Like if they can't tell me that they love me or they want this, then I'll pull away from them. That could be what their painful ending was, or the painful ending could have been a while away, but the recent past is they're still not being upfront about their emotions, how they feel about you. They've not told you, and it feels to me like you withdrew your energy from them, then saying, well, if they don't want to admit the feelings for me, then what am I even doing here? What's the near future? The near future energy. Obviously got feelings for this person. Oh, wow. Okay, Queen of Inspiration. This is your energy being very attractive. And the Devil energy, temptation. So temptation, perhaps because someone's coming forward to you. Well, you're very attractive, so you're going to be tempted. I think you're going to be tempted with new people here, or tempted to get back together with them. There's something about you being very attractive. With that Queen of Inspiration, it's also, she's the decision maker as well. she decides what it is that she wants. But yeah, that devil energy is temptation. So you're going to be tempted in the near future. We'll get deeper into that and find out more about it in the deeper dive read. So this reading is about the Six of Emotions. It's about someone from the past, but it's also about the Hermit. Okay, so it's about you doing your own thing, following your own path, perhaps being alone as well. Now, some of you could have been doing a lot of work on yourself, been by yourself for a while, be really kind of enjoying that. You might have hoped that somebody new would come in, whole fresh energy to start again. But there's this person lingering in the past there. You can't seem to, it feels just like someone, you've not had closure on it. It's not being completed. It's like there's something more to learn with that person is what it feels like to me. And so although you have been alone, it feels like you kept on looking back to the past. There's always been feelings for this person. You've not quite written them out of your heart. Yeah, there's something to be found out, I think, about this. What are your fears? What are your fears? The Knight of Emotions. I knew it was going to be a positive card like that. So, because I was tapping into the energy as I was shuffling there, the fears are about almost like being seduced by it again and it being the wrong thing. So, it's almost like you're putting in this person's hands because of your feelings for them. You're like, it's like a trap to you. You're scared of them coming in and being romantic towards you because you're going to be tempted, right? You're going to be tempted. If they're coming towards you with emotions, you're a sucker for them. You have few defenses to this person. There's also this energy of, I was just looking at the water there, being kicked up by the horse's shoe, and I was taken to this green, this like lilac pink, light green, the colours of like spring, when, like eyeshadow palettes, the pastel shades and all of that. It's very spring kind of a feeling, this. So it feels like in a change of a season, someone's feelings could change, this King of Cups, and come towards you on a whim, but it might not be the solid. You might be wanting something more solid with someone and for them to come forward. So if they come forward to you with emotions, you're susceptible to that. But it just might not be solid enough for you. I think that's why it's coming up as a fear. Because you know that they love you. Yeah, it's about reciprocation. So a lack of reciprocation, but nothing like tangible about it. You're worried that this person isn't on the same page as you, but you're still susceptible to them, especially if they come forward with emotional stuff, because, it's like you're frustrated with somebody because they won't tell you how they feel about you, but then they show you a sign that they love you, kind of thing. And that's kind of enough for you. You're a sucker for that. It's like you've been deprived of their emotional content enough that any little thing you will let them kind of in. But it's not the full shebang. It's not the full reciprocation. It's not where you're at. You're able to tell them how you feel and show them how you feel and all of that and have a conversation about it. And they're not, right? And they're not at that level. So there's a lack of reciprocation there. They're not at your level, yeah, emotionally, or it feels like communication-wise. What are you hoping for? You're hoping for the Emperor. So someone that has mastered themselves, mastered all the king aspects of themselves, someone that's taking the lead, someone that isn't afraid to speak out their feelings, isn't afraid to do the work about their emotions, has dealt with that kind of stuff and they can communicate that kind of stuff. It's someone who is a go-getter in their life as well. They set goals for themselves and they go for those goals. It's not someone that you have to look after here. They look after themselves and they can look after other people too. This is somebody who has mastered that, like the material world and all of that. They've got stability, they've got a career or a business. What's the other aspect of them? King of Cups, yeah, we've done that one. And the mind as well. They know who they are. They're comfortable with themselves. So the Emperor, yeah, you're hoping for the Emperor. And the person in your past side doesn't feel like the Emperor energy to me. Now, you might have been trying to convince yourself that they are, that they could, that they've got the potential to do that, and everyone's got potential to be that divine masculine or divine feminine, for sure. But it takes a lot of work to get there, right? If you've got yourself into the Empress energy, you'll know how much work it takes, and it takes years of work as well to do that. Not many masculines that have been doing it. So you're hoping for the Ace of Emotions, falling in love. The falling in love, the Emperor and falling in love, that's what you want, right? Yes. Me too. So let's get your outcome cards out. So I'm going to get about 6 outcome cards out, so it tells a story. Going forward, we'll be revealing these cards in the deeper dive. I'm going to reveal the first of the outcome cards in this reading now, because somebody pointed out that this is not a full Celtic cross spread because I don't reveal the outcome cards. Well, now you get your first outcome card revealed. You've got a decision to make, is the outcome. You've got a decision to make, the 2 of inspiration. So let's get the rest of them out. And so the rest of the cards, yeah, it's going to be a mini reading in itself kind of thing for the progression forward here. And it revealed in the deeper dive, in that extended reading. And I will also be getting cards out from these decks back here as well. Message cards from your person. We'll be getting guidance out for you. Any timing cards out for it as well. If we've got someone new showing up here, then we're going to get message cards out from them. We're getting personality cards out as well, finding out what's going on for them. We'll get clarity on all these things as well. Get clarity about what this decision is too. So there's your second card and the third card. Okay. Yeah, you've got something testing coming in here. 4. I mean 5. Can't count. 1 more, please, and then what? Okay. 6 outcome cards there. You know what the first one is. You've got a decision to make. We'll be getting deeper into that, what that decision is all about in that deeper dive, along with all the rest of it. So if that sounds like it is your story or could be a story, whoops, you might want to get that deeper dive for even more. If you do, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now, that email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder. Do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the flower on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video. And when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, then try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click on that subscribe button with that notification bell. And if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive read, I'll see you in there very shortly. So if you chose the shell, along with the Tarot of Mystical Moments, then this one's for you. Let's give you a full Celtic Cross Tarot spread here. Now, as usual, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story, could be a story, want it to be a story, then you might want to get that for even more. If you do, toward the end of the reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get straight into your reading. What is this reading all about? 5 of Pentacles, it's about you feeling like you're left out in the cold. Perhaps you've been dumped, somebody's walked away, someone's perhaps ghosted you. It could be. And you've been left by yourself out in the cold. They disappeared on you. Yikes, sorry to hear that. What's crossing you? What's hindering you in this? What's hindering you in this? What's hindering you? Wow. A lot, apparently. Told not to take that one. Okay, what's hindering you is 6 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So, looking back into the past, you've got some kind of an aha on that, but you're not seeing that clearly. So, something that happened in the past, you're looking back on and you think you know how it was, or you're telling yourself a story about it, but it's not the actual truth is what I'm getting. So, finding, not an excuse, but kind of that, yeah. You found a reason. You're telling yourself a story. You found a reason for something that happened in the past, and that story makes you feel better. It kind of soothes you, but it's not the truth. how else can I say that? It's when we kind of fool ourselves when it makes us feel better. You know, like the excuses that we make for people. And we're like, no, they only did that because of this. And we kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's not true. And everyone else around us knows that it's not true. So what's hindering you is you're not seeing something clearly from the past. You're not seeing the truth of it. You've told yourself something that makes you feel better. You know, it's like with a child when you tell them a little white lie because they're upset about something. They're upset about something, you say, no, don't worry about it, they'll come back, but they're not. Do you know what I mean? They're not coming back. It's that kind of thing. It's like you're soothing yourself like a child by telling yourself a little white lie. That's the energy, yeah. How do things appear on the face of it? Four of Wands, like this could have been, there was solid foundations that this is the one that you could marry, is how it appeared. That you were suitable for each other, that you could really build a solid foundation together, that there was a lot of compatibility and all those things that you need for a relationship, the recipe for a good relationship, like compatibility and both wanting the same things and, you know, both having similar values and all of that. So a lot of that could have been in place with that Four of Wands. So it was solid foundations kind of thing, something to be built on. What's really behind that though? That's how it appeared on the surface of it. Justice. There was something in the way. There was something in the way. It could have something to do with the justice system, so it could be about contracts, could be about marriage to someone else or something like that. Right? So that makes sense. This makes sense now. So you're looking back in the past and you'd made a decision about something, that something meant something, but it was just to soothe you. So perhaps looking back at the behavior or something like that, and you were telling yourself, that's just because of this. But there was definitely something in the way here. Feels like your person was locked into something else and you were telling yourself that they were freeing themselves, but that's not what was happening. Or something like that. The head in the clouds there. There's something about, there was wishful thinking about this, but you were taking it as truth in the past, but that wasn't true. It wasn't something that you were told, it was something that you conferred from it. Anyway, recent past energy. You know, it's when we think we know what's going on, it can be quite damaging in a way, because it's good to not know, and then we can be open to the truth. Whereas when we're like, okay, we can, it feels better to us because we can put something in a box. It's like, oh, well, this happened and this happened because of that, and now I feel better. Now I've like put a solid reason, so my mind's happy. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's a way of easing our anxiety and overthinking things, but for the long term it doesn't really work because we've led ourselves down the wrong path, you know. This is quite complicated. So you changed your mind in recent past and you decided to set off on something new instead. Okay, so you kind of set yourself free, changed your mind, decided for a fresh start for yourself to take a risk on something else. You know, I'm getting like a half letting go here. It's like you appeared like you let go of this person, you change your mind, like, no, I'm not really interested in them, but really you're like, I am. I'm just pretending to move on kind of thing, hoping that this thing that I believe is true. So it's like you put yourself out in the cold, hoping that makes the difference in this, so that you can continue on with your firm foundations that you believe was set with this person. Wow, this is complicated. There's a kind of a manipulation of thoughts kind of thing going on here to get what it is that you want, the conclusion that you want. What's coming in the recent energy, like, so you appear to be doing the right things, like, well, move on, this isn't happening, I'm moving on, but really in your heart and in your mind, you're very, very much focused on that person still. You're going to be strong. You're going to be strong, and there's going to be a need to be strong and courageous in the near future. We'll find out about that, deeper into that in the deeper dive, in that extended reading. So this is about you being left out in the cold, perhaps being ignored now, or ghosted, not hearing from them, alone. What is this reading about as well? It's about the Queen of Swords. So it's about you drawing up boundaries here, proper boundaries, and like of what can go in your life, what cannot go. We can do fake boundaries. Like I said, there's something weird about that moving on, because it's like not real. There's something very fantasy about it. Just look at the cards, right? Look how Alice in Wonderland all of that is, right? Oh, I've changed my mind and I've moved on now. There's something fantasy about that. It's not real. It's like a kid when they're trying to kid the adult, and they go, okay, I'm going now, and they're not really going, they're just pretending, or you're kind of like on the bottom stairs kind of thing, patting them with your hands, going, I'm going upstairs now, but you're not really. It's that kind of an energy is what I'm getting here. But this is very different. Like the Queen of Swords is, she knows what her boundaries are and all of that, and she says no, and she makes those full distinctions, and that's real. That's not fantasy. She's actually doing the boundaries there. So it feels to me like you need to have like real boundaries with this. It's tricky because sometimes we don't know that we're doing that, right? We're like, no, we've brought up a boundary, and I think it's just taking me time to get rid of this person out of my heart. Sometimes we're not kind of true. We can't be like fully brutally honest with ourselves, kind of thing, going, I haven't actually let go of them. I'm still hoping, even though I'm going through the motions of moving away from this person, I haven't really, because I'm still thinking about them all the time. It's that, and it's hard to be brutally honest with ourselves, and it's subtle too, because if you're the Queen of Swords, there is still going to be feelings in your heart, right? So what's the difference between that moving on and that moving on? But there is the subtle differences between it. There's layers to it as well. There's layers to it. What are your fears? Five of Swords. Having your heart broken, having your heart ripped out, kind of thing. So, yeah. Okay. The reason that you're doing this, the reason that this is the way that you're going about it, is it's just too painful. It's too painful to lose this person completely, to take them out of your heart. So there's a connection that you've got with this person, an emotional attachment with this person, that if you cut yourself off completely, that's just too hard for you to take. It's like ripping your own heart out, kind of thing. This is someone that you thought you were going to marry. You thought that the recipe was right with this person, kind of thing. So it's too hard. It's like you're trying to get yourself over it without breaking your heart, kind of thing, and trying to deal with it, so that it's okay for you. And it's difficult, I know. So you're trying all these different ways of releasing yourself from this person, hoping that it's going to come about. King of Swords. So you're fearing that they are getting clarity, but not that. The King of Swords, like them cutting it out too, so them ending it properly. You fear them ending it properly. Look there, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, they're both that need to draw a line and say no to this. But neither of you can. It's like you're both holding the door open and pretending that you've moved on from it, both feeling left out in the cold, but neither of you haven't let go of each other, neither of you really investing in each other either. It's tricky. What are your hopes? What are you hoping for? The Devil. You're hoping for them to be tempted. Is this person married to someone else? You're hoping that they're going to be tempted back, to be lured, kind of that siren song, to be lured back in by their feelings for you. That's why you don't want to cut them off completely. That emotional attachment, you both like that. You like that you're kind of hooked on each other emotionally. 8 of Cups, you're hoping that they're going to be tempted back and that they're going to walk away from that other person. Wow, okay, so let's get your outcome cards out. I'll be revealing these outcome cards in the deeper dive, but I'm going to reveal the first one out to you because, as someone pointed out, this is not a full Tarot Celtic cross spread, Claire, if you're not showing us the outcome card. So I'll show you the first outcome card. It's the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups card is about being disappointed by what is coming in and waiting for that better offer kind of thing, that bright, shiny offer. So that's your first card. It's a kind of a place that we get to when we are going like, this sucks. Where I'm at right now, it sucks. And admitting to that kind of thing, you know? Admitting that it sucks. And we've got to do that. We've got to like realize where we're at the moment. Once we've admitted that the situation we're in sucks and it hurts and it's not good and we don't want it to continue this way, then we can soothe ourselves and like love ourselves in that way, going, yes, this is a bad situation. Once we acknowledge it, we can actually be there and move on from there. So what that is saying in your outcome is like, you're going to have to get to this point of like going, this isn't working. What I'm doing isn't working. It's extending the pain. It's diminishing the pain, but it's extending the pain. It's like peeling a band-aid off really slowly instead of just whipping it off and it's done. Oh, I've got 5 outcome cards out now. One more. There we go. 6 outcome cards there. You know what the first one is. It's the 4 of Cups. It's your first step, but then you've got all of these as well. So if you want to find out what those are, I will be revealing those in that deeper dive. I'll also be getting all of these cards out too, for guidance for you. I'll be getting message cards out from your person there. Now, if you've got somebody new here, which you do, you have somebody new coming in here, I get message cards out for them too. I'll also be finding out characters, what they're like, that kind of thing from these cards here, what they've got going on inside of them too, like the stuff that they're dealing with at the moment. We'll find that out from these cards, and we're getting timing cards out as well. If you're interested in all of that, if this sounds like it is your story, could be a story, you want it to be a story, you might want to get that deeper dive. I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now, and it's an instant watch kind of a thing. You do need to type your email address in very carefully, because if you get that wrong, you will not receive it. Now, the email, it might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places. In that email, you will see a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. Click on the shell on a device that you can open PDFs with. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video, and when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, try it on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click on that subscribe button with that notification bell, and if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. If you're coming with me to that deeper dive for even more, then I'll see you in there very shortly.